Hello, my name is Randall Braggie. I am a resident of Washington State and retired Navy veteran. The first part of this video is a brief summary of firearm law and information on how suppressors work. Part 2 is a demonstration of suppressed firearms at a rifle range in Nevada. Most firearms are loud enough to cause permanent hearing damage in a short period of time unless hearing protection is used. If you think that you are getting used to the noise over time, it actually means you are going deaf. Suppressors enhance the shooting experience by reducing noise and recoil. They also protect the hearing of those nearby, even those who neglect to wear hearing protection. They are misunderstood by many people due to their portrayal in the media, which we all know can be very inaccurate. "38 states allow civilians to own suppressors. Washington State is the only one of those 38 states that prohibits their use. In 1934, the Washington legislature prohibited suppressor use allegedly after some poachers were caught using them in an attempt to cover up their crime. Many people tend to think of suppressors as tools used by the police and military. They are also frequently depicted as misused by criminals in the media. Suppressor size, shape, and effectiveness are frequently exaggerated as they are usually studio props like the one shown here. While the military has used them more in the last 20 years, suppressors were originally marketed by Hiram Maxim over 100 years ago for civilian use and only much later adopted by the military. Suppressors are legally called silencers or mufflers by the federal government. Maxim used the word silencer to describe his suppressors as it was applied to those devices used to reduce engine exhaust noise. Suppressors were and are still today promoted as training aids for novice shooters. Criminal use of registered suppressors is extremely rare compared to other legally owned firearms. The United States does not ban any type of rifle, shotgun, handgun, or other small arm. There are 2 laws that regulate gun ownership in the United States. The Gun Control Act regulates the sale and ownership of firearms. The National Firearms Act imposes a tax and regulates the transfer of certain firearms such as machine guns, short-barreled rifles and shotguns, and suppressors. Federal law requires that an FBI background check be performed and a $200 tax imposed when a person buys or makes a suppressor. The form used to register a suppressor owned by a civilian is the ATF Form 4. There is a checklist on the back of the ATF form, similar to the one on Form 4473, the form used to buy any firearm, such as a rifle or shotgun, from a licensed dealer. Any American who can legally own a rifle can also own a suppressor. The ATF Form 1 is used by persons who want to make a suppressor. The same $200 tax is paid for each suppressor made. In either case, the back of the forms are signed by the local sheriff in the person's county. Not all sheriffs are willing to sign the forms. Some people who are not able to obtain this signature go to their attorney general, a judge, or create a trust or corporation to own the suppressor for them. The forms are sent into the ATF along with Form 5330.20 attesting to U.S. residency, 2 passport-sized photos, fingerprint cards, and a check for $200. These forms are not a license, just proof the tax was paid and that the suppressor is legally owned. Approval by the ATF takes about 3 to 6 months, but is never denied as long as the forms are filled out correctly. Suppressors are very simple devices. They operate much like a straight-pass automobile muffler in that they provide a space for gunpowder gases to expand and cool before being released to the atmosphere. They usually consist of a tube filled with baffles and spacers held together with end caps. Suppressor design varies widely depending on their intended application. Their design is limited to the materials on hand and the imagination of the builder. While a suppressor can greatly reduce noise, their ability to lower the noise level is limited in that they only reduce muzzle blast and do nothing to reduce noise from the gun's action or bullet flight noise. A modern suppressor will not degrade bullet velocity or accuracy. It will last for thousands of rounds as long as it is not overheated. A good suppressor will lower noise by about 30 decibels. as the decibel scale is logarithmic. This is a 1,000 times decrease in noise intensity or an 8 times reduction in loudness. A high-powered rifle will still be about 130 decibels and a small 22 caliber rimfire rifle about 115 decibels even when equipped with a good suppressor. Industry standards recommend hearing protection when exposed to continuous noise levels greater than 84 decibels. Exposure to short-duration impulse noise from gunfire can be as high as 130 decibels without hearing damage. Many shooters still wear earplugs or muffs when shooting a suppressed firearm at a rifle range. The following demonstrations take place in Nevada at the Clark County Shooting Park and the Boulder City Rifle Range. This is a bolt-action hunting rifle chambered in .308 Winchester. It is popular with hunters and target shooters. The bolt is used to chamber and extract the cartridge. It makes little noise when operated. Noise from the rifle would be physically painful for anyone nearby if they were not using hearing protection. With the suppressor attached, the rifle is still loud, but will not damage the unprotected ears of anyone nearby. Even with the camera 75 yards downrange of the shooter, there is still much noise present even when the suppressor is used. This is a small 22 caliber rimfire target pistol. They are popular with small game hunters and target shooters due to their low cost. The suppressors designed for them are also inexpensive compared to those made for high-powered rifles. But the action can be noisy. Though much less noisy than a high-powered rifle, these small rifles still require hearing protection. With a suppressor, these rifles are completely safe to shoot without earplugs. With subsonic ammo, there is even less noise, but it is still not silent. Pistols tend to be noisier than the rifles due to their shorter barrels. But are still safe to shoot without earplugs when a suppressor is used. Due to the technical limitations of the microphones used to obtain this video footage, the suppressor performance is even more impressive than depicted in this video. But of course, firearms are not completely silent even when equipped with a suppressor. Most people only experience suppressor use by watching television or the movies. The Hollywood version of gunfire sound is rarely accurate, as sound technicians typically use unrealistic sounds to portray suppressed firearms.